Here's my personal ranking of the big three, and honestly, it's the only correct ranking. If you don't have this exact ranking, you are objectively wrong. Like, you are actually incorrect. So number one, it's easily Kendrick Lamar. Number two is J. Cole. Then number three is Drake. But that also got me thinking of this new idea, this new video idea where I'm gonna have a Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole song bracket. 3 songs per each bracket and see which song is the best. Now, obviously speaking, Kendrick Lamar has the best discography. There's literally so many perfect Kendrick Lamar songs. I had to exclude at least a few of them because otherwise it would just be very unfair. And even the best Drake and J. Cole songs I excluded, like a Tuscan Leather or a For Your Eyes Only. So without further ado, here is the Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar song bracket. And let's see which song and which artist wins. Alright, in the first bracket here we have United in Grief, Champagne Poetry, and 95 South. This one's really tough because all 3 are amazing intro tracks. You get United in Grief, just Kendrick's introduction, his entrance back into the hip-hop game. Champagne Poetry just has so many different layers to its production. It sounds beautiful, but I think personally I have to go with 95 South by J. Cole, one of the best songs on the off season for me. Such a explosive and energetic intro track with so many amazing bars. Next we have all Jay-Z features. We have the Be Don't Kill My Vibe remix. We have Light Up. We have Mr. Nice Watch. And immediately you can exclude Mr. Nice Watch. That song does not live up to the quality of the other 2. But for me, it's an easy choice. I have to go with Kendrick here. I think the song itself is phenomenal, and Jay-Z's feature is pretty great. Next, we have 3 absolute bangers, N95 versus Jimmy Cooks versus My Life. And I'm going to have to exclude Jimmy Cooks on here, but ultimately the winner has to be My Life because that song is amazing. We got the rapper's most streamed song on Spotify. You got Humble, you got One Dance, and you got No Role Models. Now this is a pretty tough one because they're all great songs. Like, they're all equally as good in my opinion. But ultimately, I'm gonna have to take out One Dance, and I want to take out Humble, even though it's a tough race. And I'm gonna give the slight edge to J. Cole again with No Role Models. Then we have 3 other bangers from their catalog. So we got ADHD, we got Best I Ever Had, and we have Workout. And you know what? Like, I love ADHD. Like, I love how low-key and atmospheric that song is. But I think I have to go with Drake. You know, Best I Ever Had is such a nostalgic and cool song. And just personally, the one I return most to out of these 3 tracks. This one's pretty interesting. We have Poetic Justice featuring Drake. We have Evil Ways featuring J. Cole. And we have Forbidden Fruit featuring Kendrick Lamar. So it's like a circle, it's like a loop. It's between Poetic Justice and Evil Ways. And, you know, I have to give it to Good Kid, Mad City. Poetic Justice is such a beautiful song. It's super catchy as well, and one of the more underrated tracks in Kendrick's entire discography. Then we have the rich songs. We have Rich Spirit by Kendrick. We have Rich Flex by Drake. And we have Rich Nibblers by J. Cole. You know what? I think for this one, even though I do like the low-key vibes of Rich Spirit, and I do love the more hilariously over-the-top Rich Flex, I have to give it to J. Cole for this one. We have the inspirational, motivational songs. We have Now or Never, we have Headlines, and we have Rise and Shine. And this one might be the hardest choice for me to make because I personally love all 3 tracks here just as equally, and it's really tough to choose a favorite. And ultimately, I'm gonna go with
1 hour later.
They're all great stadium songs, but I'm gonna have to go with
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time card.
I have to go with How I Feel Today, and today I am feeling Headlines. Moving on to side B, King Kunta, Energy and GOMD. As much as I love Energy and GOMD, this one's Kendrick Lamar. King Kunta is one of my favorite songs on T-Pab. Next, we have the Jhené Aiko features. We have Growing Apart, From Time, and Sparks Will Fly. And just purely talking like Jhené Aiko features, I think Sparks Will Fly has her best performance out of the three, but From Time is easily the best song from this bracket because I don't know why that Noah 40 Should Be production just hits so hard. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. I have to give it to From Time. This next one's also pretty tough. I have Nice for What, and I have Middle Child. I have to give this one to Kendrick Lamar. I is such an empowering, uplifting song, and it hurts to put it over Nice for What, but I have to go with I. Then we have these three posse cuts, these three absolute amazing bangers. We have King's Dead, we have You Only Live Twice, we have Under the Sun, and this one is also super tough to pick from because I think I love all three tracks just about the same. You know, I originally was gonna choose King's Dead, but the more I listen to Under the Sun, the more I just think about it, I think this song is phenomenal, and the baby kills it. So does Loot, and so does J.Cole. So I'm giving this one to Under the Sun, even though I do love Future and J-Rock on King's Dead. We have Swimming Pools, Hotline Bling, and Deja Vu, and this one is gonna go to J.Cole. I think Swimming Pools is great, Hotline Bling is a good song, but Deja Vu just hits harder for me. Then we have DNA, KMT, and ATM, and this is a very interesting track just because it's all letters. For some reason, I don't know why, DNA just doesn't hit for me, even though it's a super hard-hitting, exciting, aggressive banger. And KMT, while it is a great song, not as good as DNA. So ultimately, I'm going to give this one to J. Cole again with ATM. We got Keisha's song, Sandra's Rose, and Kevin's Heart. As much as I love Drake on Sandra's Rose and J. Cole on Kevin's Heart, this one's going to Kendrick Lamar with Keisha's song. The song is like a cautionary message to his sister. It's also a great Kendrick Lamar performance. Overall, Keisha's song is the strongest track out of these three. And finally, we have the outro tracks. We have High Power, 6 p.m. in New York, and Hunger on Hillside. The rapping performances are all top tier, top notch, but I have to go with Kendrick Lamar again with High Power. That song might be the best or second best on Section 80. Alright, we have round 2. Starting us off, we have 95 South versus B Don't Kill My Vibe remix. And you know what? This is also a very tough choice because I think both songs are fantastic. That Jay-Z feature is a really nice addition. However, 95 South is just a fantastic intro track. I think J. Cole has so much energy, he has so much charisma and so much passion in his rapping. I have to go with J. Cole for this one. Then we got two J. Cole songs, My Life versus No Role Models, and this one's pretty easy. I'm going with My Life. No Role Models is a pretty fun single, it's very iconic, but I think personally My Life is the better song. And then we have Best I Ever Had versus Poetic Justice. Both songs actually featuring Drake, but ultimately I'm gonna have to go with Best I Ever Had. I love Poetic Justice, but Best I Ever Had is honestly one of Drake's best singles. The production sounds lavish, and this entire song is just really nostalgic for me. Then we have Rich Nibblers versus Headlines, and I have to go with Headlines here. Drake takes the cake. Headlines is amazing. On the right side, we have King Kunta versus From Time. You know, King Kunta, more bouncy, more funky, more catchier, I think. And From Time is just more romantic, more lush, more extravagant in terms of production and sound. You know, just as a Kendrick fan and as a fan of hip-hop, I have to go with King Kunta. Just a fiery song on To Pimp a Butterfly. Then we have I versus Under the Sun, and this one is another tough choice, but ultimately you get three great rapping performances on Under the Sun, so I'm going with the J. Cole, Loot, and the Baby collaboration. Deja Vu versus ATM. Wow, this one's also a tough choice. They're both pretty great J. Cole songs, but I'm gonna have to go with Deja Vu. Slightly over ATM. I think there are better songs on KOD, and overall, I think Deja Vu just has more replay value for me. And then finally, we have two Kendrick Lamar songs, two Section 80 songs. You know, we have Keisha's song versus High Power, and as much as I love the personal message on Keisha's song, this one's gonna go to High Power. 95 South versus My Life, two tracks from the off season, two of the top tier songs on that album. I'm gonna have to give it to 95 South on this one. I think overall the bars are stronger, the production and the energy are slightly more exciting as well. Then we have two Drake singles. We have Best I Ever Had versus Headlines. I love both songs so much, but I have to go with Headlines for this one. Now, King Kunta versus Under the Sun is a tough choice because, man, they're both like perfect songs in my opinion, but if I have to choose one, I'm going with King Kunta. King Kunta is just a lot more memorable for me. And then finally, we have J.Cole versus Kendrick Lamar with Deja Vu and High Power. Deja Vu, just get out of here. It's High Power. Alright, now it's the semifinals. We have 95 South versus Headlines. As much as I love J. Cole on 95 South, this one's gonna go to Headlines. And on side B, we have King Kunta versus High Power. And High Power might have the better message. It might be deeper lyrically, but the energy, the ferocity on King Kunta goes unmatched. So King Kunta moves to the finals beside Headlines. So it's Headlines versus King Kunta. Two songs that have been with me since my adolescent years, and you know, they're both iconic, they are both full of energy. Ultimately, I have to give the crown to the King Kendrick Lamar. King Kunta is the winner of our Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick song brackets. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Which song would you choose out of this entire bracket? Alright, peace out.